Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles, a great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect Akim, teaching and preaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. This is Akim Wasap of the branch of GMS LA, and today's lesson is going to be somewhere along the lines of Isaiah 14:1. The strangers is talking about other Israelites. All right. So I'm gonna try to find a title right now. I got the blue letter pulled up, and going into the different translations of Isaiah 14:1, because you got a seducing spirit out there sifting Israel, which we understand that this is a part of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's movie. So, we may get agitated and annoyed, especially when it's right there in the scripts that the Lord is only dealing with the children of Israel. The kingdom of heaven, rulership of the Israelites, starting off with our Lord Yahweh Shai, is specifically for the Israelites. And you got these big name, big box Israelites tangling and twisting and bending the truth, man. A lot of it is because they took the bag. We understand the current condition of the economy. These camps with all these members, and they got all these wives and possessions and cars and property and all that costs money. So the bag is sounding, the bag now is sounding a little more enticing, So it's going to be individuals that's perverting the doctrine, man. So as defenders of the doctrine, as defenders of the gospel, we got to do our part. All right. So let me see. Let's see. They say sojourners. Trying to find a good title. All right, we just gonna do, and strangers shall be joined with them. That's what this lesson is gonna be. Strangers, other Israelites, shall be joined with them. Quick lesson, straight to the point. We understand that Isaiah 14, the 14th chapter, is dealing with end time prophecy. This is the destruction of Babylon the Great. This is the ushering in of the kingdom of heaven, rulership of the Israelites. Goes into these nations being put down, starting off with Esau, us rejoicing. All right. The global elites falling, which they're known as Lucifer, the light bearers. They holding it, they holding the light. They the scientists, they the archaeologists, they NASA. They the people that go and excavate these ancient ruins and find out different things going back to the old world, to give them confirmation that we the Israelites. All right. So when you start in the first verse, it says this: for Yahweh. And that's one thing these other camps don't be pushing. They don't be pushing the name, and if they do push the name, they lightly push it. The prophecies speak about the elect standing in great boldness before the face of those that made no account of their labors, and standing stiffly for the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. They not lightly pushing out the names. They pushing the names. They put the names in the forefront, man. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob. That's it. The mercy is extended to Jacob. Now, I will say this. With the prophecies, they're very poetic the way they're written. It's a lot of flavor in these precepts. And if you don't understand that, you can mistake it for it talking about something else. But really, it's just more of a poetic flow, how the Lord had his word go out. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel. That's poetic. All right. It's talking about the Israelites and set them in their own land. This is end time prophecy. This the northern and the southern kingdom, which collectively make up the 12 tribes, starting off with the elect. The Lord gonna put us, Lord willing, we're part of the flock, Lord gonna put us in our land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. Okay, this is no different than Matthew 24. Let me go over there real quick. And this is a quick lesson. Matthew 24, which goes into two different time periods. It goes into the Roman siege of Jerusalem that happened in 70 AD and the signs to look for after, concerning Yahushai's glorious return. Let me see. This is Matthew 24 and 30. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, linking up with what is written in Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and all nations shall, and the nations shall mourn, and even them that pierced them. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. It says, and then shall the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, coming on the so-called UFO, spinning, or doing whatever the aircrafts of Yahweh Shai do. They're going to bug out when they see him. But here's the point. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather his elect from the four winds, Jacob, from one end of heaven to the other. All right. Areas where the Israelites were scattered. The strangers. That may not look like the traditional Israelite. Let's go back. Isaiah 14 and 1. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, his elect, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them. Other Israelites that scattered in these different areas throughout the four winds. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Why would they cleave to the house of Jacob? Because they are Jacob. Let's go into this word strangers here. This is like my third time doing it this week, but we're going to continue to sound this alarm in the Lord's holy mountain. Because as we get closer and closer to the end, these guys are going to be changing up the doctrine, man. Gar in the Hebrew. Gar. Getting straight to the point. Foreigners in Israel. All right. That's what it's talking about. Foreigners in Israel. Israelites that was scattered. Coming back to their fold. That's what Isaiah 14 and 1 is talking about. The strangers, other Israelites. That's going to be the title of this lesson. The strangers, quote, I'm going to put it in parentheses. Other Israelites shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Now, let me see something. There's a precept that says, a man, Ecclesiastes, right there. Ecclesiastes 13 and 16. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. So they have a saying in the world, birds of a feather flock together, which is true. All right, that's a true statement. All flesh consorted according to kind. You pretty much vibe out with people that are similar to you. All right, y'all share different, likes and interests, different characteristics, and then, certain, vibrations rub off on each other, y'all become similar. But here's the point, and a man will cleave to his like. So these strangers that's cleaving to the house of Jacob are other Israelites. They're cleaving to their like. All right. And what throws these people off is the second verse, because the second verse is a different part of prophecy. It's not a chronological thing like, okay, the first verse, all right, and then immediately after the second verse. Nah. All right. The first verse is the Lord addressing Israel for having for mercy being extended to them, and the Israelite foreigners coming together. Then the second verse goes into the Israelites dominating the heathen. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. The people is the Israelites. Them is the heathen. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. This is a stumbling block. And they shall take them captives who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. We're going to dominate over the heathen. Starting off with Esau. All right. Isaiah 14:1 is talking about the Israelites when it speaks about strangers. So I just want to push that vibration real quick. All right. We went into the word strangers. The Hebrew word is gar. All right. Just like Moses or Mashah's son, Gershom. He named him Gershon because he was a foreigner in Egypt. I mean, Israelites were foreign in Egypt. Let me see. Gershom. Let me see something. Moses' son. Let's do Moses' son. Gershom, right? Let's do this. Select, copy, paste. One second. All right. Exodus 2:22. And she bare him a son, talking about Moses' wife. And he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. Not yet. Let me correct that. Moses named his son Gershom because he was a stranger in a strange land. When he went off the grid, when he fled from Egypt, he went into amongst the Cushites. And he was a stranger there. He named his son Gershom. And Gershom, let me see, goes back to the Hebrew word. Let's see. You see, Garasham, Gershom, foreigner. That's all it means. The name of 4 Israelites. So when we go to Isaiah 14:1, and it says the strangers, we see the same Hebrew word for the word stranger, the root. Which is gar, as you see there, gar. And it says of foreigners in Israel. So Isaiah 14:1, when it says strangers, it's speaking about other Israelites. All right. And the second verse goes into a different part of prophecy where the Israelites is going to subdue the heathen. Now, it may come off as a stumbling block, but when you precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, all right, the Israelites are going to be the ones that get saved, man. Remember in Isaiah 59, it speaks about the Redeemer shall come to Zion and to them that turn from transgression in Jacob. So our Lord Yahushua is going to be dealing with Israelites that repented and saving them. So I'm going to leave it at that, Lord willing. This was edifying to the Lord's elect. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us the truth. Shalom, Akim.